Gotta get that light. Hi, welcome to Kim
Morning.
and Andy read Urantia.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Kim. I'm gonna turn off that light. Okay. That's better. That's better. Okay, we're gonna read from the Urantia book, but first we have 365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Today's March 13th. And we have Dr. Carlos Montezuma, who was a Yavapai Indian. And Yavapai people live north and a little bit west of Phoenix. North of Phoenix. And Carlos Montezuma was an American activist. He lived from 1865 to 1923. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he's known for what does it say? He was a Yavapai Apache Native American activist, and let's see what his legacy. Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation in 1996 named their new healthcare facility the Dr. Carlos Montezuma Wasaya Memorial Health Center. Okay. University of Illinois announced it would be naming its newest residence hall in his honor.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nice. Okay. So, you want to read him?
He said, "To fight is to forget ourselves as Indians in the world." To fight is to forget ourselves as Indians in the world.
Well, I think because you're fighting, you're not fighting for yourself as an Indian. You're fighting for the people. You know what I mean?
Montezuma is probably the most familiar figure in Aztec history.
Okay, so this is a totally different Montezuma. Right now we're talking about the leader of the Aztecs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Montezuma II.
Okay.
Right?
He led his people during the time of the Spanish conquest and was held hostage by Hernan Cortez for ransom until the 1520 Aztec revolt. Montezuma was stoned while talking to his people and died 3 days later. That's a native to know, Montezuma. Okay.
Right.
Carlos Montezuma. Wow. Doctor.
Yeah. I just want to turn the page. Okay. So we know where we're at tomorrow. Okay. And then we'll read from the Tao Te Ching. Okay, so this is observing and nourishing paradox. Why would you want to nourish paradox? It seems like paradox should be something that's, is not always perceived as a positive thing. But in the Tao, paradox, the union of opposite forces, is the basis of all of life. All of everything is based on the union of opposites. So we nourish paradox. Okay, and here we have the heavens shining on the mountain tops, and there's clouds in the mountains. It's really beautiful. Okay, and of course this is the Tao Te Ching translation by Ralph Allen Dale. Okay, you want to read that one?
When most people hear about the great integrity, they waver between belief and disbelief. Okay, when most people hear about the great integrity, they waver between belief and disbelief. When wise people hear about the great integrity, they diligently follow its path. When ignorant people hear about it, they laugh out loud.
Right.
But this very laughter, we know, is authenticity.
Right. You know, I always this is one of my favorite passages because this is what I how I reacted when I first started reading the Urantia book.
Hmm.
It would give me the giggles. It would just make me just laugh. I'm going like, oh my God, this is so wild, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but that's okay for them to laugh. What it's saying is that, you know, that maybe shows you that you're currently not a great person, you're an ignorant person, but you're laughing at it. That means you're on the correct road. You're on the road to wisdom.
That's very
So
good.
relax, enjoy, have a good laugh, and just, you know, be real
Hmm.
with it. Okay?
Hmm. It is said that enlightenment appears dark, the progressive way appears retrograde, the smooth way appears jagged, the highest peak of revelation appears empty like a valley, the cleanest appears to be soiled, the greatest abundance appears insufficient, the most enduring inner strength appears like weakness,
Hmm.
creativity appears imitative.
Right. So I'm thinking of your donkey,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
The most enduring inner strength appears like weakness.
Hmm.
So on the surface, you could see somebody might have been taking advantage of you,
Hmm.
but deeper than that was this core, powerful strength of yours to endure that. You endured that, and you're so strong because of that, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
See? So that's what's real, that was underneath that. See?
Okay, I get that. That's good.
Yeah, okay.
Great, great talents mature slowly. Great sounds are silent. Great forms look shapeless. Transcendent squareness has no corners. Great integrity hides behind all forms, stubbornly nourishing the paradoxes that can enlighten us. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a thought for today.
Hmm.
Mm.
So when you're on this place where you think that oh my gosh, I'm so awful, I'm so weak, I'm so like, you know, just be with that feeling because you know it's going to be lifted from you, and
Mm-hmm.
while it's there, it's making you stronger, it's making you it's building potentials for you. Because what did I tell you when, like, as a teacher, you know, when my students don't know the answer to the problem, they're all frustrated and they're like, well, that little frustration, that feeling of pain,
Mm-hmm.
that's your brain cells growing. That's
Mm-hmm.
your brain cells reaching out to grab each other and to create new potentials for you. So
Mm-hmm.
don't be afraid to feel like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. Right.
So it's okay. So we nourish that. It's important
Mm-hmm.
feeling. It's important to know that
Mm-hmm.
just by knowing that you don't know, you're already on the good path
Mm-hmm.
when you make that admission to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Okay. Okay, so we are on paper 39. Okay, part 6, the transition ministers.
I'll let you read that one.
Okay, as their name might suggest, seraphim of transitional ministry serve wherever they can contribute to creature transition from the material to the spiritual state. These angels serve from the inhabited worlds to the system capitals, but those in Satania at present direct their greatest efforts toward the education of the surviving mortals on the seven mansion worlds. This ministry is diversified in accordance with the following 7 orders of assignment. 1, the seraphic evangels. 2, the racial interpreters. 3, mind planners. 4 Morantia counselors, 5 technicians, 6 recorder teachers, 7 ministering reserves. More about these seraphic ministers to transitional senders you will learn in connection with the narratives dealing with the mansion worlds and the Morantia life. Okay, so there's lots of categories and subcategories of angels. So these are subcategories of this of the I don't know if it is a subcategory or something. Where's Man, there's so many different kinds of angels. See, there's all these different kinds of angels.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of these, oh, transition ministers here. So that's one of the main 7 categories.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So these first 5 categories all had, like 7 subcategories associated, right? But these here now are transition ministers.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow we'll read about some other angels. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's very interesting about angels is that by and large they're ascending beings like us. They're ascending beings. They're not perfect. They're perfected by a long shot. Most of them that deal with us are not perfect.
And they're part of the spirit world that is separate, but not separate from the physical world.
Mm-hmm.
In my hometown, there's a museum called the Angel Museum. It's a collection of everybody's porcelain angels.
Oh, they have porcelain angels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all angels need to be porcelain. You can make them out of anything.
I'm sure there's some made out of anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make them out of anything.
I guess Oprah donated her angel collection to this museum.
Well, that's special then. Oprah's special.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah should run for president. Maybe. I don't know. She won't, though.
I think I'm always amazed at the depth and complexity of this book. That how in the world could anybody have sat down and written this out?
Spoken as somebody who has been trying to write a book, right? Who understands that that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's no profit motive involved. The time and the research, the dedication that takes, and there's no material motivation for doing this involved.
Mm-hmm.
What would that take? Yeah.
It's beyond comprehension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, people didn't write this. Okay, that's all we got.
That's all we got. We're off to church.
Yep. See you later.
Bye now.
Bye. Hi ho, hi ho.